Yeah. The girl is pressing and pressing to get her baby cakes, her PapaRo back. She's pressing and pressing because she's worried about PapaRo health, his state of mind. His doctor's office is worried. His psychologist is worried. His brother is worried. So a lot of people in the international community are very, very upset. They want their PapaRo back. They want to see PapaRo the way they know PapaRo. They know that PapaRo has been missing a lot of medication due to his trauma that he's experienced in his life for his mental sake. That he's missing medications and treatments and things. And PapaRo doesn't have anyone that know his full medical history and all of his files and everything like me, his wife. And so he's being denied the right to be searched for. The law enforcement in Hanover County last Friday went to the address of 11352 Heflin Lane to a religious camp by the initials of CPT. On the front desk called the leadership, according to the police. The top director came and said, "No, I'm not going to let you go see him. I'm not going to tell you where he at because we got HIPAA rights and we got some other religious rights." But he was last seen the other day around here with his son. And so the police were denied a wellness check, which this has happened many times before, from what I understand, from witnesses that have been going to this camp over 20, 30 years. This has happened repeatedly, and other rights have been denied of other citizens that be at the camp and family members concerned. Even children's rights been denied. From what I understand, according to the testimony of my husband, Papa Rowe, also, and some of the things I've witnessed and discussed with that same director. And so there are many people in the community that saying they're coming together to speak because they've been victims at the same camp, as well as they witnessed trauma and victim and bullying and abuse. There's women in North Carolina that say they have not stepped foot there in 2000, since 2017 because discussions leadership had about the original descendants of the people that started the camp, as well as discussions in lawsuits that the original descendants are saying they filed against leadership. And so my husband has been at this camp many times, and there were times when he had COPD, kidney disease. He was diagnosed with other things. He was denied all of his visits to the doctor. He was eating honey buns, Dr. Pepper, and Twizzlers because he did not want to eat chicken hot dogs and other things he said that was in that cafeteria, even though there was a hidden refrigerator with steaks and other things that he said other privileged people had. Certain people didn't have to pay tithes and offering, but he had to put his tithes and offerings in the hands of the leader, and he had to work two jobs, even outside and mulch and everything with COPD. Sometimes he was missing inhalers. He chose to leave there in 2017, and his health got better. Come to find out, he was having a heart condition. He had surgery. A lot of times, my husband has lived in shelters, been denied rights of love, and so he said he's only really been taken care of with me his whole life, his best life. Other people have videos. I have videos, documents, pictures, letters of recommendations from hospitals, doctors that say, I am the one that keeps Papa Rowe healthy and happy. Some ungodly things happened due to a person that stole my car, did some trickery things over the phone with the police here in Texas, as well as the lies of a hotel manager at a Best Western. And because they didn't like Papa Rowe and they thought Papa Rowe was hurting me because they physically didn't lay eyes on me because I was injured and sick. And they know Papa. So anyway, a lot of confusion, but all it is me and Papa Rowe been doing so many amazing things under the guidance of the Holy Spirit, and there's so many amazing miracles and testimony. It's just the demonic forces is using any and everybody it can to hold Papa Rowe. So Papa Rowe ran for his life, and he think that Mama might understand. He's been sending secret messages to a family member, but they have not heard from him in a while. And then some people have called my husband's son, and he's denied them from talking to my husband's son. Some he busy right there. He getting divorced. Papa Rowe told me a long time ago he don't believe in divorce. He told me he would never divorce me, and besides, he only believe in divorce in adultery. And even though he said he still wouldn't divorce me, Papa Rowe know I love him. He know I gave him his best life. Papa Rowe does not know that I'm searching for him. He's not allowed contact. My family members have called this camp. People in foreign countries have emailed this camp. A lot of people are asking for Papa Rowe. He's being denied to know, and he's not getting the care and treatment. I'm getting messages. His insurance has lapsed. He doesn't have insurance. Medications waiting at the pharmacy because they have a copay. So I don't know what condition, but Papa Rowe was diagnosed with cancer. And it's amazing. I'm the one that helped Papa Rowe stop smoking when everybody accepted him. Because when Papa Rowe was 11 years old, his mother's friends molested him and taught him how to smoke cigarettes. And so that's how PapaRo started smoking and couldn't stop. A lot of things happened to PapaRo that caused him to get on drugs, trauma, lies, and abuse. And it's a lot of lies and abuse. And yes, PapaRo did live in shelters in Richmond, Virginia for over 12 years of his time living in Virginia. Over 12 years in shelters. A lot of family members in New Jersey do not know the facts and they're persecuting me. But his brother Neil and Darlene know the facts. His brother Neil and his sister-in-law know the facts. Uncle Clarence that just died knew the facts and he was on the way to see Roland. There are certain people, PapaRo told me, who know the facts, who are playing games with the family, and he's ashamed of a lot of his family in New Jersey. That's why he did not attend his nephew's funeral, which that same name of his nephew was persecuted by my husband's offspring in the presence of my parents in 2017, 2018. And that same person died, and then they said they want to go see their cousin. And PapaRo said, no, he ain't going with them. Their car ain't going to make it, and he's ashamed. There's a lot of lies about me from people who never met me. Cancer patients who have mental illness in the family are being used and manipulated. There are certain people pulling the ropes and change. Originally, they were enemies of my husband's offspring, but they joined forces in the name of PapaRo started looking better, getting better, happy. And I guess it was embarrassing because nobody ever took care of PapaRo. PapaRo has told me many stories about life at this camp, and it's not pretty. And it's amazing what happened to a young lady named S and her father, and a man named H, and a man named B. And I'm getting more and more stories from a lot of people in the elderly community that's telling me they're coming forth to tell of everything they've seen that happened since the last director died and everything. So I'm just telling you I'm telling you the source of where I get my information from. And I do have some direct things that's happened to me there that I will be telling that happened to me in my experience with this director and things that's happened. I'm gonna tell you first in front, and I'll tell you about some abuse and trauma that every time I'm sick in the hospital, I get abused by some of my husband's offspring, and they're determined to take my husband away from me, even though they told me personally in September 2017 that you don't know my father. My father will mess up any good thing. He'll mess up any good thing. You don't know him. He's a mess up. Yes, yes, that's what I was told. You don't know he'll ruin anything. Yes, and my husband has told me other stories about his offspring, but he chose not to speak with them on the phone. But because my mother got scared, she called his offspring, which was a poor decision because she know what she think and what she's seen, how the offspring talks and downgrades my husband to the point it upset my stepfather the first time he met him, and it upset my family, the abusive language and the verbiage and the tense. And so my mother got scared when I was hospitalized, so she called him. So no one, authorities want to know, how did he get from Texas? My husband is legally blind. He can't operate a phone. How did he get from Texas? How did he get to process bank accounts and things? How was he able to maneuver? And so anyway, Adult Protective Services is investigating. There are other branches of government, law enforcement that are investigating. The IRS has been called in to question the bookkeeping, the practices of this camp. Other organizations have been called in and some embassies are being contacted internationally because of certain international people that come to this camp and some of the things they do in their country and some of the things I've witnessed they've done and requested at this camp. And so many organizations, there's a mass influx of now is being attentive of what's going on here. I'm not picking on anybody, but this is the things that's went on too long with other people, there are other victims. So we're asking other people who've been bullied, oppressed, or traumatized, according to the stories of a lot of the elderly that tell me they witnessed people that have been abused in the name of oppression and strong army and condemnation. Will you please come forth and tell your story? Because we don't know who's there and what's happening. And I'm concerned about a man that introduced me to my husband. It's amazing. There's even some spiritual leaders that try to get another man who lived next door to my husband off the camp, and some things happened. And the man's wife ended up dying because she said she gave up. She lost hope. And he told my husband, I need to start a new life. And then he was no longer able to talk to my husband. Somebody blocked his phone. This man has mental illness. He does not know how to operate blocking on the phone. And he loves my husband. It's amazing. But anyway, I'm not trying to scandalize anybody's name. And no, I'm not Miriam and Aaron talking about Moses, because Moses wasn't guilty of nothing. There were no victims of Moses. Moses sacrificed everything at that point when Miriam and Aaron did what they did. But you notice Miriam got put out the camp, but she got brought back. But didn't she perish? And then the rest of the Israelites perish? Like I said, don't twist the scripture around because why you scared? Because you say you don't see miracles there? That has nothing to do with nothing. Jim Jones started out doing healing miracles because I know some people now. They used to start out with Jim Jones, the man that went to Guyana, gave him the Kool-Aid or whatever. I know people who started out with him. My husband met Reverend Nike. He can tell you stories. There are people here that done told me about Waco, Texas, with Koresh. Everything starts out cool and wonderful, but somehow some things go wrong in the name of some religious clause. So what I'm telling you is, for PapaRo's sake, and for sake of others, and for the sake of whatever's going on, I already requested the director to step down because I have some other evidence of illegal things that's happened to children in writing of a conversation I've had with her staff in 2017. And so there's some other lawsuits that's been filed. So what I'm trying to tell you is, I ain't trying to slander nobody. I'm telling you where I'm getting my facts from, and I'm telling you and I'll tell you later what I witnessed and what I experienced and what happened to me there. And I'll tell you, some people have passed away, and I had conversations with them before they passed away, and it's amazing. Like I said, my husband had no business working two jobs, and when I got to him, he was malnutrition. Yes, he was smoking. He was missing medications. He was missing doctor's appointment, especially that PET scan for cancer. He was taken to a doctor's office for the homeless when my husband had insurance, and he was in charge of his own self, and he's blind. He can't read no pills. And my husband was taking his night pills for day and day pills for night. A lot of things happened to my husband's heart. And thank goodness he was with me that day when I rushed him to the hospital and they say I saved his life. He had an 8-hour surgery. It's amazing. I found out the pills they were giving him at that at that doctor's office for the homeless off of West Grace, it's amazing. It caused Parkinson's symptoms. So I had to relocate to Lynchburg, Virginia, over there on Tate Springs Road, to prove my husband did not have Parkinson's. And they said, yes, you're right. He doesn't have Parkinson's. They go by what I say, because I understand a lot of medical things because I'm a prodigy, and his patterns of behaviors and the shaking and the tremors, because he about scared the daylights of the people at the KFC at Laburnum and Mechanicsville, shaking and trembling one day. But anyway, they did a brain scan. He doesn't have Parkinson's. It's a prescription. They kept upping and upping and upping at that doctor's office over there on West Grace Street in Richmond, when he only get a 15-minute appointment every 3 months, and they keep pumping, pumping, pumping. And it's amazing what happened to his back. He never got a back scan, but they were giving him back medicine. Took him to the ortho in Lynchburg, Virginia, found out what's wrong with his disc in his back. He was able to get needles. I had to take him away from Richmond, Virginia to get him treated, just like I had to take him to the ophthalmologist and retina specialist, found out he was supposed to be taking eye drops. I chose to do them things and take him to my personal specialist. We discovered I took him to a pulmonologist, found out he was supposed to be taking breathing medicine. A lot of medicines he's prescribed now, he wasn't prescribed back then, and he didn't know. He wasn't seeing specialists. It's amazing what doctors have said about me. His doctor's office just told me today, no, yesterday. It's amazing, Miss Wright, how you do everything for Mr. Wright, how you save his life. His care worker that comes to the house always said, you on point. Both of them say, you on point with Mr. Wright. It's amazing. I even got letters from Uber to say we are so popular with Uber drivers, because it's amazing how the royalty. I treat Papa, and I let him lead, and I teach him how to lead. I teach him autonomy. It's amazing the bag he got for his medicine. I bought that bag. It's a rolling bag, so he can roll it. I taught him how to I taught him the day and night pills bag. I taught him I set an alarm. I gave him a video phone that he can press the button because he can see something blurry like a video symbol. And I would let him go on excursions and trips with Uber and Lyft. And I would watch him on my other phone. I would send GPS coordinates, tracker to certain family members so they can always know where PapaRo is, just in case anything happened, since we were the only two here in Texas. It's amazing how everybody at Target on Goth Road know him as Papa. I made sure they knew him. They knew what he was like. They know him, and they know his favorite snacks. And he know when you're afraid, find a Target. It's amazing. When we used to go to the Walmart on Goth Road in North 146 when it was safe before spooky stuff happened, because people were being inspired and saying me and Papa was inspired. We became so popular. Even at that Murphy's gas station on North 146, we were popular, feeding the homeless, Papa laying hands, praying on the homeless, walking at night in the streets, giving the homeless things, pillows and blankets and cool waters, and trying to ship homeless back to their family, buying cell phones down there on Travis or whatever, downtown Houston to CVS, trying to buy all their cell phones to give to the homeless so we can keep in contact with them to get them off the streets. Papa has helped shut down crack houses in Hopewell, Virginia. Papa has helped feed shrimp in crack neighborhoods. Papa has fed exotic foods, had conferences in crack neighborhoods. Papa has made a difference in countries. There's countries they're waiting for Papa. It's amazing when COVID stopped our plane ticket to go to Pakistan for 30 days, where imams are waiting for me and Papa to explain things their Christian preachers can't explain. It's amazing. There's a group of prostitutes in Liberia waiting for me and Papa to come to explain promiscuity because we know, we understand, we can relate. It's amazing how many people got clothes, shoes in jail in Burkina Faso because PapaRo sent a box full of stuff and the box cost $400 to ship. It's amazing how many people got cell phones in foreign countries because PapaRo gave them the latest upgraded phone. And yes, me and PapaRo are on Social Security and we don't really get donations for our nonprofit, but we budget and we care. And any extra money we get, we feed, we take care. It's amazing. There's a video on our website showing PapaRo talking about feeding people in Pakistan during the lockdown that was giving up hope on Jesus. There's so much fruit. Where's the pictures and images and the stories about PapaRo prior to meeting me? I have evidence. And PapaRo proposed to me at the Virginia State Fair in September or late September, early October 2017. PapaRo has trusted me. PapaRo loves my cooking. He knows I treat him like a king. He knows I spoil him. PapaRo now got 2 godmothers in Amelia County. PapaRo had a mother-son dance at our vow renewal. PapaRo and I have been married twice in 1 year. Ceremonies, live band, music, food. PapaRo has broken records and done things he's never been heard of done. Recently, his brother Neil was in the hospital. PapaRo jumped up on the phone, prayed for Neil. Neil jumped up and got out the hospital laughing. Yeah, PapaRo prayed his brother out the hospital. His brother was laughing, laughed his way with joy. PapaRo don't play about his brother Neil, but not once has he called and prayed for the rest of the family. Because PapaRo let me know he's basically ashamed, but he don't let them know because he don't want to hurt their feelings. But he only really recognized Neil. He did recognize Weeping till the family got involved. PapaRo knows a lot, but PapaRo may be under a little delusion. He may be being told stories about me because people have called PapaRo's son, and some people here, and they're very upset what they were told. Landlords in Richmond very upset what they were told by PapaRo's son, and so people are very upset. But I'm showing you the picture. This is the last person law enforcement was told that he was seen around somewhere at the camp last Thursday. Today is the 20th of September. So like I said, if you see PapaRo, you need to report it to Adult Protective Services in Hanover or call Virginia State Police. We must demand PapaRo return back to mama safely so PapaRo can get the treatment, but his doctor's office want to make sure all his trauma and emotional medicine is back on point, back in his system, so he can be back to himself first before he travel. That's what his doctor's office is recommending in Lynchburg, Virginia. So we got to get PapaRo stable because he's been off this medicine too long in his 3 medications. And PapaRo need to go back to finish his counseling. His counselor is worried he was getting counseling. So he needs to return back to his counseling so he can overcome the trauma that happened his whole life in New Jersey, neglect and abuse in Virginia. Mama is about Papa's healing because there's a world waiting on Papa. Papa's loving and caring. The same vision I have for ministry, Papa has too. You wouldn't believe the things Papa want to do, his dreams and vision. So if you talk to Papa, he may be confused. He might say some bad things. Papa is not himself, and Papa has not seen Mama, and Papa has not been spoiled. Mama take care of Papa. Mama defend Papa. Now the police officers know about how hard Mama don't play about Papa. So please, if you see Papa's son or Papa, and I'll try to get a picture of other people that Papa could be around, like his daughter. I'll work on getting pictures, but I got this public profile of his son. And this is what law enforcement told me on the phone, so I'm not slandering, but this is what they told me. And the magistrate let me know that at any point they could take Papa off that camp and we won't know where Papa at. So right now we don't know because when my family and I called the camp, but he could be with his son, or he could be, or we'll give it a message. It's amazing. People in Nigeria and other countries are emailing. They're very upset. They want Papa to return. Some people is giving up hope because they didn't know America was like this. Yes, so please, let me put another picture of Papa up. Papa is 5'7". Papa is 5'7". He's brown skin, he's bald. Sometimes he wears hats. Papa is bow-legged. Papa is legally blind, so sometimes you got to get real close up for him, recognize it. Papa's not able to use a phone. He can use some flip phones if he learned and memorized it, but he don't know how to program numbers. And he needs a phone that talks to him. I'm still getting pictures of Papa. Let me see. I think I have another picture of Papa I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find a close-up picture of Papa so you can see Papa close up. But I'm gonna have to put the regular picture of Papa because this video is getting long and I want it to be short. I want to focus on Papa, but that's Papa. Papa likes the Canton spirituals. If you call him PapaRo, he'll know. He'll know PapaRo. Um, if you call him King Roland Wright, he'll know because Mama calls him King Roland. Yes, he's also Intercessor Roland Wright. You can find him on social media, Intercessor Roland Wright. He's also known as Elder Elect Roland Wright. Um, Papa likes music. He loves music. He loves the Canton spirituals. He loves Hall and Oates. He likes rock and roll. He kind of likes R&B some, but he likes the old R&B. Papa likes gospel music, and he likes Southern gospel, like Canton spirituals with Harvey, Lee Williams and spiritual QCs. He liked that song "Shouting John" by Shirley Caesar. He also liked the song by Shirley Caesar about the son that was rich and didn't do it right. He liked the songs by Shirley Caesar that tell a story. Papa also likes songs by Mississippi Mass Choir with Mama Mosley Burks. He called her his real mama. He loved her singing. He gets very excited about Mama Mosley Burks. He called her his real mama, and it's his dream to meet her and to meet Harvey with the Canton Spirits. That's his dream. Those are two people he really want to meet. Papa loves to show the Flash. He likes to show Black Lightning. Papa like comics book. Papa like Twizzlers, but Papa should not be eating Twizzlers because Papa should watch his sugar intake for COPD and lung cancer. So Papa should not be eating Twizzlers. Papa likes like sugary things, but Papa likes organic things if you know how to cook them. Every organic thing I cook, Papa likes. Papa likes seafood. He likes crawfish. He loves frog legs. He loves frog legs. It's amazing. In a Hilton hotel, I cooked them frog legs in the air fryer. He lost his mind. Papa likes pork chops, but he said only me and his sister Hope know how to cook pork chops. Papa eats stuff I don't eat. Papa likes he likes okra. Papa loves okra. Papa's not too great on beans. Papa likes fresh fruit. He loves mandarin oranges. Papa loves mandarin orange. He loves cherry. He loves mixed fruit. Papa likes tea. He likes tea. Some of the teas from oh goodness, it's a farm in Virginia. They got famous teas. He likes Kroger tea, the tea from the supermarket Kroger. He likes pure leaf tea. He likes sugary drinks, but he will drink things with Splenda or stevia. Papa's not too big on rice and pasta, but he'll eat it. But he does like beef meatballs. His favorite is pork and beef ribs. Papa likes to take long showers. Papa thinks he's cute, so he likes to put on cologne. He thinks he's cute. Papa likes to wear jackets all year round. Um, Papa usually supposed to carry 3 different types of inhalers that he has to take on time. Papa's supposed to have eye drops every night before bed, latanoprost, and in the morning he's supposed to have Brimidine to keep his sight. They said his sight is stable enough. That's the best it's gonna get. If it get worse, they might be able to do surgery to save it. But he's supposed to have a little bottle of Brimidine in the morning for his eyes, and every night latanoprost for his eyes. Papa's supposed to have an inhaler in the morning, an inhaler in the afternoon, another inhaler in the afternoon, and then a handheld, a Buterol inhaler. Papa's supposed to be taking 17 pills a day, 17 prescriptions, different timing. Usually I set an alarm on a smartphone that I give Papa that has a video phone on it where you could call him on Duo, but Papa accidentally left it. Papa does have an ID, but I do have a card, a debit card that I can load that's in PapaRo's possession. PapaRo is supposed to have a black suitcase that has some of his medical records from the hospital here in Houston. PapaRo, and they also have my contact at that hospital. PapaRo also has a waistband that should have his wallet as well as his inhaler with him, but there has been no refills on his inhaler. His doctor's office in Lynchburg, Virginia is complaining there have not been no refills, no refill requests on certain medication. He has not seen psychiatry. PapaRo does not have an insurance. His insurance has lapsed. I'm getting messages from his insurance company. PapaRo, he has a funny eating habit. PapaRo likes to eat certain meals a certain time of day. He's not a breakfast person. He likes breakfast bars and granola bars and things like that, but he's not a breakfast person. He's not an orange juice drinker. He does like root beer soda, and he does like real syrupy sodas, but I don't give PapaRo that stuff. So I'm trying to get him to be organic and more pure, but he will try anything organic, and he likes it. He likes when I used to go to Kroger and get anything organic. He loves bananas. Let me see what else. Papa likes to wear shoes that slip-on shoes. Papa's no longer really into socks. Papa likes to have a safety blanket, and I believe he packed his safety blanket, which is um, which is an Afghan blanket that's in his bag, his carry-on bag. Papa likes lounge pants. Papa really don't wear shorts too much. It depends on how he say his legs look. Papa likes shirts that show his muscles on his arms. He also likes AT shirts. But yeah, he likes his safety blanket to sleep because he was abused as a child. So we have matching safety blanket. I have a safety blanket too. They're just Afghans we get from Walmart, and I have two, and he has the third one. I'm trying to think what his Papa like hats, but he doesn't. I don't think he has his hat with him. Papa likes shirts that has cartoons on it. Papa loves superheroes and characters. Papa used to binge on television, but he stopped doing that. He want to listen to music, 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 music. He did recently fall in love with Jill Scott's first album and her first live album. He fell in love with Norman Brown's music. He fell in love with the Soul Stirrers when Eddie Hoffman sang. The Soul Stirrers only when Eddie Hoffman sang lead. Papa likes those. Um, he likes Spotify to play his music. He likes Spotify the way Spotify works. I'm trying to think what else. Papa doesn't have any teeth. So he doesn't have any teeth, but you can't tell the way he speaks. He doesn't have any teeth. Papa likes his nails clean. Um, Papa don't really like to show his feet. Papa has back injury. He has back pain. What else? Papa sometimes has hip pain, but Papa's supposed to do his exercises and stretching, and Mama had to remind him. And Papa is supposed to go on walks to practice walking and breathing. But right now, I'm not sure the condition, whether he's continuing chemo, but he's not getting his chemo nausea medicine because it has a copay and is not being paid for, and it's been sitting at the pharmacy over 2 weeks. The pharmacy is somewhere near Libby and West Grace in Richmond, Virginia. I'm trying to give you every detail because I'm trying to get my husband back and get him back to help so we can get back to eating and live on top of the world. Eden. And so Papa continued to dance. Papa likes to praise dance in church, and a lot of men all over Surrey County, Richmond, Virginia, all over Lynchburg dance in church because Papa is a dancer. Papa likes to yell and worship, hallelujah! And he likes to raise his right hand in worship. Papa likes good preaching. Oh, I must tell you this. Papa will listen to Dr. Miles Monroe for hours. Papa's favorite speaker is the late Dr. Miles Monroe. That's Papa's favorite speaker. And Papa will listen to Dr. Miles Monroe for hours. And Spotify has a lot of Dr. Miles Monroe sermons. He loves it. Last time he listened, PapaRo was sitting up and he got to shouting and laughing because he was so happy with the word was saying through Dr. Miles Monroe. So Papa does love Dr. Miles Monroe. He's not really into television preachers or whatever, and he doesn't like a lot of fancy preachers. Papa like preachers that preach and teach and break down exegesis through hermeneutical principles. Papa Ro knows what that means. Papa Ro is a powerful intercessor. Um, Papa Ro can come off shy or quiet or laid back, but what he's doing, he's analyzing you because he always said, you learn and you grow through hearing and you should speak little. So Papa Ro, but with me, he can be Chatterbox Charlie and talk a lot with me and my Aunt Lady Di. My Aunt Lady Di and my Aunt Patricia can get him talking a lot, but and my oldest brother Sherman, but he'll talk to my stepfather too because he think my stepfather cool, and his best friend was my mama. And he will talk to Neil and Darlene, but Papa Ro is funny and he can be wise, but he does feel intimidated by his children. He would not speak up or defend himself. And that's why my family is upset because the times they've been around him, they see the bullying spirit and Papa Ro back down because he feels condemnation from what happened when they were children and taken away from him. So Papa Ro does not speak up for himself when it comes to his family. He'll let them say whatever, do whatever, and he won't even speak up for me. It's almost like because of his past and he feels guilty what he did in his previous life. He's afraid as if, if something happened to me, they would never take him back. Papa Ro has expressed a lot of things to me. So I'm just telling you things that I know, and to God be the glory. But get the message out there. We need to get Papa Ro back to Mama and get Papa Ro back to his doctor in Lynchburg, Virginia, so he can become stable and get the counseling he needs. So eventually he won't need medicine. He'll be totally healed and revealed as one to give offering of the word to others. Bless you. Keep the Help Papa Ro movement going. Keep calling law enforcement. Keep emailing and calling that camp, demanding to talk to and hear the voice of Papa Ro. But for what I describe, you'll know if it's somebody faking this Papa Ro, if it's Papa Ro. You'll know if it's Papa Ro. But and he's at beyeholy.com. That's our website. Beyeholy.com. Beyehol. King James Version of 1 Peter 1:16 and Leviticus 11:44. Papa Ro no, because he's elder elect and he's the head of Be Ye Holy International Church. Papa has preached before in public. So anyway, I just tell you, and he calls me I'm mama. He calls me Mama Tanya. He calls me Sugar Mama, baby, honey. Yeah, but I call him Papa Ro. I call him King. One of the last conversations I had, the last time I saw him, I called him a king, and I cried. And he shook his head and felt shame because he felt like he couldn't protect or help me. My son, my godson in Togo, heard the whole conversation. We have it all recorded. My godson in Togo, he has the whole conversation between Papa Ro recorded. And he knows Papa Ro very well, as well as our godson Adnan in Pakistan, who's gonna have a baby. So Papa Ro gonna be a grandpa. Adnan's parents, Peter and Sarah, pray in the spirit for Papa Ro, and Papa Ro nightmares went away. But I'm not sure if he's having nightmares right now. But one song that I sing to myself to remind me of Papa Ro and our love is a song called "Beyond the Stars" by Jeff Bradshaw and Glenn Lewis. Beyond the Stars. It makes me cry, and I sing it in the spirit, and I tell the Holy Spirit to send that love to Papa Ro spirit wherever he is. You can tell Mama love Papa Ro, Mama need Papa Ro, and Papa Ro needs to come back so he can lead Mama, because Papa Ro is my king, and he's a king under King Jesus, and I need Papa Ro to lead me and to help me and do the things we need to do and help raise some of these kids and help some of these homeless and elderly, and let's get back to eating and live on top of the world. You know, that's a song by Donna Lawrence. Thank you for watching and listening. I'm gonna put the flyer back up again of what Papa Ro's son looked like. I'm not trying to defame people or cause a problem, but I'm just trying to get my husband back. And I'm telling you what law enforcement verified. And I got the picture from social media of his son. So it's not a private picture that his son did not put out there, but I got the picture from social media. And I do have his son's telephone number, but people have been calling him and he's been denying that Papa Ro can come to the phone and say he's gonna get a divorce. And that is not a Papa Ro's wishes. And Papa Ro repeated out his mouth, that means Papa Ro is either under duress, fear, or he's delusional. Yes, or been told things about me that's not true. Because Papa wrote in his heart, no. What he said, I soak it up because mama gave me my best life. And he said, I discipled him. That's what he told his caseworker. I discipled him. He wasn't serious about Jesus even when he was at that camp. But he said when he got with me in 2017, he became serious and intimate and learned things about the word of God. Papa Ro and I do have Bible study. Me, him, and Minister Kids there every Sunday had class every Sunday, learning the Bible. Oh, but anyway, to God be the glory. This is what his son looks like. They're somewhere in the Hanover area, I think, and hope. But according to the magistrate, you never know where they could be. But I believe they're driving a beige or cream or brown sedan. It might be a Toyota, I think, but it's not in great condition. But his son has purchased a truck. I'm not sure if his son is working or his son has returned to living at the camp. It's a back and forth kind of thing for the last 10 years. But like I said, Papa Ro is funny about what he eats. He's not great on restaurant food, and Papa Ro like customized home cooked meals. And so you can tell when Papa Ro hasn't seen Mama. You can tell what Papa Ro like, and you can see how Papa Ro is when he with Mama. Everybody loves to see Papa Ro and Mama, Sugar Mama. But anyway, this is what his son looks like. I do have his son's phone number. I'll be getting more information and more things from coming through from some of my insiders in law enforcement. And I have eyes and ears in other places that I won't say, but there will be testimonies coming forth from others that have experienced things at this camp to tell. And there are other people who consider themselves victims of the strong arms of this camp, and that's what they're calling it. So I'm not slandering. I'm telling you what they're calling it, and I'm telling you that there are people be coming forth to say. And there's a lot of people over 70 and 60 say they no longer tithe, give offerings, or visit. Some say they haven't been there since 2017 because of the things they've written from administration. And there's some other things that's happened to some teenagers I'll go into full effect, which might get some people in jail. I have conversations that's written between me and administration discussing the abuse of a young lady and some things that happen with administration's some of the administration leadership's son, and some other things that's happening. I heard testimonies of people coming from foreign countries doing spells on people, and people have died. There was a time when people could put tents on the ground, from what I understand, from a lady from North Carolina who intimately knew leadership. And I'm hearing stories from my god grandma about what she was offered and told as well, and what happened to her. And I'm hearing stories about things underage people have done, like how my husband used to get robbed by children because he's blind. And there's certain people who have smoked drugs and put it on Facebook every time they rolled a blunt, and they live there. There's many stories. And so I'm telling you, I'm going to be getting some of the witnesses, the victims, to come forth, because we have to press, because they're using the religious clause, but yet you at your house can't deny a wellness check, but they can. What's the difference? So anyway, to God be the glory. That's the address. That's the person he was last seen with. And the magistrate said you never know where they could take him once they find out that I called for a wellness check. Now, once has anybody witnessed me abuse or hurt Papa, nobody can say that. They never seen me a dog Papa. No. Everybody know Mama called Papa King. I have more and more pictures I haven't released to Papa. I have more and more videos. So anyway, to God be the glory. The great things he has done is doing. And I believe Papa is going to get back to me, and we're going to get everything straight. And I pray for the souls that's stopping Papa from being with me under the auspice of, you don't know him because he going to mess up everything. And they've decided who Papa is and what Papa is. So anyway, I pray for God to be merciful to them, and for them to learn their lesson, and for them to grow, and for them to support what Papa does, and intercede for those that Papa is waiting for Papa to minister to. Thank you.